Brave Maker Show is hosted by Tony Gattastone and Christina Jackson. Thanks for tuning in. It's showtime.
Yeah, hey. Thanks for tuning in. It's showtime. My name is Tony Gattastone. I'm the founder and executive director of Brave Maker. I happen to be a screenwriter, an actor, and a director living in Redwood City, California, Northern California. I'm a Caucasian man with some brown hair, scruffy beard, glasses, and a trucker hat on in my studio here that says Brave Maker in the back. And I'm always with my friend, collaborator, Christina Ray Jackson. Welcome, Christina.
Hey, what's going on, Tony? I'm Christina Ray Jackson, and my pronouns are he, she, they. I am queer and coming to you from the East Bay. I'm in Dublin, California, and I'm in my studio, sitting in my favorite power chair by Will. And I'm an actor and a comic book writer and a singer. I'm just an overall creator, Tony, and it's good to be here for our second show of the year. We got a great show today.
Second show of the year. We are live.
Year.
If you're watching us live, we're so glad that you're here. We, Christina and I, are always on the social, so we encourage you to find us, connect with us. We'll be having our producer, Alex Todd, on the show as well, doing live quotes underneath, and you'll see different ways that you can interact if you're watching us live. So if you have questions at any time, comments for our guest, you can always do that. And if you're watching on the replay or listening on the podcast later, you can always contact us at podcast@bravemaker.com or on Instagram @bravemaker.org. Before we bring in Samantha, our guest filmmaker today, I want to know, Christina, how are you braving your way this week toward your creative goals?
I've been doing something so exciting, Tony. I've been creating kind of like a tour. I've been identifying all the comic book stores in my local area and then branching out to Oakland, San Francisco, and start compiling that email list so I could start reaching out to set up meet and greets. I'm so optimistic about that because right now it's not a great climate to be out shaking hands and doing all that kind of stuff. But I still want to be there face to face and publish a comic book and do some meet and greets. So that's how I've been braving my way. I almost forgot to say, yes, I'm a comic book writer, and today I'm in cosplay with some Spider-Man, some wild blue hair, and I'm an African-American woman, and it's like long, straight blue hair with a blue lip, and that's the cosplay look I'm rocking today. You can check out my cosplay over on Instagram at KRay Cosplay. That's KWRAY COSPLAY. So that's how I'm braving my way, Tony. Can you believe that? A comic book
you
tour?
are doing it. Do this comic book tour. If you're new to the show, or maybe you just came to follow Samantha on our YouTube or Facebook page, we ask this question of ourselves every week because we want to be intentional to go after our goals. A film doesn't just pop out of the air, or a comic book doesn't just get written on its own. You've got to make it happen little by little. So that's how we say we're braving our way 1 week at a time. This week, for me, I'm excited. I have been working with, and I will talk more about this during the Brave Fave section, I've been working with an editor to get our trailer for Last Chance Charlene, which I'm super excited about. So my first feature film that I wrote and directed will hopefully come out. We'll see how COVID and film festivals and screenings go in the spring. Yeah. But that will hopefully be coming out sometime in the next quarter, 4 or 5 months, at least to a film festival near you. But we're going to have a screen or a trailer in a couple weeks. So I saw the first cut of it today, making some notes with the editor. If you want to see that trailer, you go to our website at bravemaker.com and sign up for our buzz, as we call it. That's the e-newsletter we send out a couple times-ish a month. And our partners and our Brave Makers who are on our e-list are going to get to see it first, probably by the end of January. So we are super excited to show it. And
that is so exciting. Yeah. Trailers just make things feel real, right?
They
the trailer, I mean, it's 100%. Super real. We've been at it like over a year, but the trailer, like having that to share is just, it's coming to life.
It's coming to life. 100%. So sign up on our mailing list, bravemaker.com/buzz. Come check it out. We're going to talk filmmaking today. We have a filmmaker who has a short film that's available for you to watch. I literally just watched it 15 minutes ago. I bought it for $2.99. I rented it on Vimeo, and you
supporting artists
too. That's right. Yeah. So we're hoping everything's going to go good. We didn't get a good sound check before, but let's try. Here we go. We have filmmaker
There we
Samantha,
go.
welcome to the show.
Welcome, Samantha.
Hello. Thank you so
Awesome.
much. Mic check. How we doing?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're sounding
Sounding
good.
good.
Okay,
Sounding
great.
real good, yeah.
Oh, it's so nice to meet you guys. Christina, you are like showing us all out. I am in full hermit mode with my like little button down and my blue light glasses. Like I wish I looked as good as you right now. And Tony, I have to see your film. I'm so excited to see it. That's
Thank
really
you.
exciting.
Right on.
Congratulations.
Well, tell us about yourself. Do your quick little intro. We'd like to be inclusive. You can say what you look like for those who are visually impaired in some way, your pronouns, where you're from, et cetera, et cetera. Then Christina will launch into the actual questions.
Yeah, sounds good. My name is Samantha Labrecque. You can call me Sam. My pronouns are she, her. I am a white woman, and I am located in Los Angeles out here, living the dream or trying, you know, aren't we all trying, plug for my film.
Hey, the name of her film. Hey, I supported you. Support the indie filmmaker.
Yes.
I really appreciate that. Every time I get a notification that someone is streaming it, I'm like, someone actually like wanted to watch it. Someone wanted to pay money to watch it. It's a really just exciting thing. So thank you.
You see what you just did.
So
you see what you can do to a filmmaker like Sam. Just give it. You can give one of the $2.99. It only costs $2.99 to give a filmmaker a gasp.
Yeah, exactly. Love it.
I love it. So let's learn about Sam. Let's hear your origin story. Where were you born and raised, and how has your journey uniquely prepared you for the work you're doing today in the film industry?
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I'm from LA actually. So I'm born and raised from LA, from the San Fernando Valley girl. Oh, I didn't say what I look like. I have like shoulder length brown hair. It's like straight right now. And I've gone through all the different, I was gonna say Valley girl hair phases, as if that's even a thing. We just do our own thing, everybody. So you can't define us, even though Clueless would beg to differ. But yes, I am from the Valley. I have been an actor since I was a kid doing theater. I think that's where a lot of us got our start. You know, I was doing plays at school and, you know, the youth programs and all that. So that's kind of where I got my start. And then in high school, actually, I did a film class where I created my first ever film that won like the high school film festival that I like wrote, starred in, directed. It was actually a silent film, which was pretty funny. That was my debut because I was coming from musicals into then a silent film. So that was the first time that I did something having to do with filmmaking. And that's where I realized like my attention to detail actually was something that was very acute. I really loved being hands-on and having just a say in, you know, my character, obviously, and then how the film was actually made and what the story was that was being told. So now as an adult, you know, trying is my professional debut, I will say, because I've been working as an actor in TV, film, and commercials for, I'd say the last maybe decade, I want to say, was when I made the switch from theater to film. So, and I also actually have some experience doing behind the camera work as like a video camera operator. So,
wow.
Long story short, my professional debut is now trying this short film because I started my production company, SamSkape Productions, last year when I realized that I have more to say than, you know, just being an actor on other people's projects. You know, I really love projects and just films, TV shows that are inclusive, that have something to say, that are, you know, new and stories that have never been told before. So the short film trying that we're going to talk about today really encompasses all of that, and I'm really, really grateful for it. So that's kind of how I got here. So it was a little over the place. Let me know if that made sense.
We want the long story. We like the long version.
I love it here.
All over the place is a good place to be. All over the place would be a great name for a podcast too. I'm going to trademark that.
That's really good. I'm writing that down.
Yeah, so Christina and I are actor filmmakers, and we know how hard it is to make a movie, how much money it costs, how much blood, sweat, tears. So tell us about making this 14-minute short film and getting it on Vimeo. It's about a woman with ADHD trying to get a job and kind of reconciling stuff from her past and relationship with her mom and former teacher. I love the quirkiness of it. Talk about, and you star in it too. So talk about that. Writing, directing, starring, all that stuff. Come on.
All those hats. We want to hear about all those hats.
Yeah, she really did the most on this, y'all. Yeah, I definitely took the leap with this because I kind of laugh at myself even now as you say that. I'm like, wow, like this is the first time that I ever did something like this outside of, literally being a student in high school. And I had to go all in. When I first wrote the story, actually, when I first wrote the script and I realized that I wanted to write Meg's story because girls and women are grossly underdiagnosed for ADHD compared to boys and men, and so are non-binary people. And so once I realized that, and I wanted to tell this story that connected to me, and mental health and mental illness and neurodivergence, which actually runs in my family, I was like, okay, I got to do this, but I have no idea what to do. I'm going to do a little ragtag group of a couple of my friends, slap it together, get a camera together. And even as I'm saying that, I'm like laughing that that thought even crossed my mind, because whenever I do something, it's got to be like 110%. So the first thing I did was actually find a producer, which I know a lot of people actually don't do. At least friends of mine haven't, because a lot of people were surprised that I wanted to pay someone to, help me put everything together. But that's the only thing that made sense to me, because if I was going to do this, I wanted to do it right. And I wanted to make sure that, we checked all the boxes, and I was understanding exactly how much money it cost, exactly how many people it was going to take to do it. And so that's how it all started. And we realized that we needed at least 10 grand. I'm going to get into the nitty gritty here, because I know you're both actors and filmmakers. I know there's a lot of probably filmmakers that are watching this too.
Get in that nitty gritty.
Yeah, definitely. Just to get an idea of really what it took. So we had said $10,000. We're like, let's start with $10,000. We'll have a crew of maybe 10 people, and we'll kind of go from there. And I was like, great, I can work with that. I'm gonna crowdfund it, so I'm just gonna start doing that today. And she was like, well, wait, hold on. I mean, yes, I feel you, but you gotta prep for that. And I was like, what? I can't just slap a film title and a dollar amount and go. And no, you cannot. So that's where I found Seed and Spark, which was the crowdfunding platform that I used. So while she was starting to put together, scheduling and finding the crew, I leapt into crowdfunding. And when we actually met, we had discussed dates for when we wanted to shoot the film. And they were July, I want to say end of July. Let's say July 22nd was when we started shooting. I met with my producer, Nicole Campbell. Shout out, Nicole. In early May. So I had not started crowdfunding, or no, late May. I had not started crowdfunding yet. We had a month and a half to basically do everything. And I was like, okay, let's do it. We're going to do it. And that honestly was my first mistake, y'all. I know that we're going to get into advice and things. I'm just going to say it while I'm here. Crowdfunding campaign traditionally runs for 30 days. So, and once we started getting a team together, more and more people actually wanted to be a part of the project. So we realized that we could expand our team, which also meant I was going to need to expand the dollar amount. And we needed at least $13,000. So when I was putting together the Student Spark campaign, I didn't sleep for a couple of weeks putting together the videos and the incentives and everything. And that became my main job for the month leading up to shooting the film, which was pretty insane considering, like you said, I wrote the script and I was also the star of it. And, producing, putting the team together, and, eventually working on the director end towards the end of it. So there was a lot of moving pieces. And the Seed and Spark platform is so helpful, but is very detail oriented. So you because they want to set you up for success. So what I did was I followed all of their directions. I sent out all my emails, got everything done, did a final push as a little birthday fundraiser, because my ended on my birthday. We were shooting and it was also my birthday. So people were very nice and gave birthday contributions as well. And we ended up raising actually more than $13,000, which was insane.
Wow, congratulations.
Oh,
13,745.
With 2 days to go.
Come on.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Like I'm very proud of that campaign because of how much, work it took, but I do wish that I had realized, the time and energy it was going to take to get that amount of money, because I also wanted to, be a creator. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be, writer. I wanted to do all of the creative stuff because that's why I, made this project. So there were some bittersweet moments there, getting everything ready to go. But once we were on set, it was great. But yeah, as far as getting the money together and then eventually getting the team together, which was a team of 20. It was a crew of 20 and a cast of 8. Yeah.
Wow.
And the shooting crew was all women. We had one man editor and one executive producer, but everybody else in the team was women, which was important to me for this story particularly because it does deal with, a woman and her ADHD and just everything that it kind of stands for. And just myself, I had never worked on an all-woman team as an actor or, DP or anything. This is my first time writing and producing, of course, but that was very important to me. So it did all come together, but it took a lot of work. So, woo!
So,
money,
so 20 people, that's amazing. So 20 people on your crew, and how many days did you shoot the short?
We shot for 2 days and then we realized we needed to shoot another half day. So we actually had a skeleton crew of an amazing skeleton crew from the trying team, we are so lovingly known as, that came in the next day. So we shot for 2.5 days concurrently.
So tell us about the things you did learn. You said, okay, what would you have done different and what will you do different? Because I'm sure this is not going to be your last. What are the things you learned about filmmaking? Include those tips and tricks about the fundraising element. Let's start there. And then I also want to hear about things you do different as a director and a producer.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I would say plan ahead. 1, plan ahead, and 2, go with your gut. That was a big thing. I mean, which I guess in these 2 examples, they kind of butt heads. But I will say, planning ahead is key. I am a go-getter, self-starter. I was like, I made my production company. I'm like CEO now. Like, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm so excited. I have to do it now. I think as creatives, we live for our art, our work. So it's what we want to consume our lives with. So I was like, as soon as I realized that I wanted to do this and I spent maybe 4 months writing the script, I was like, I'm ready, let's go. And it takes a lot of planning and a lot of people and a lot of money and a lot of hard work to, do something and to do it in a way that you're proud of. There were a lot of things that I'm sure we maybe didn't have to have as big of a team or we didn't have to have as many locations, but that was really important for me, to have people on the set that were passionate about it and to have locations that, were great and worked out for the film. So it was worth it to have the bigger budget. And I was doing a behind the scenes video for the film and I was kind of poking fun at Jason Blum, of Blumhouse Productions, who's like famously known for, making his films for $15,000, right? His like blockbuster Hollywood hits. And I always thought that was so interesting because I was like, how does he do that? Is everybody happy on those sets? Because I know my people were happy because everybody was getting paid, and that was very important to me. So that was just a big factor just as far as that goes. So definitely planning. Think ahead, and so that you aren't scrambling towards the end, getting all the pieces together, I would say is the biggest thing, honestly.
I love what you said about the financing being a job. I think as a creative, start there. It'll make the whole project less stressful. If you just see that you have to have the numbers in order, know what it is, really know what it is, like, and have some padding on that. Because like you said, sometimes shooting goes over. And then go from there, then really like make sure your script and everything is, polished and beautiful. Tell us, what were some of the joys of working with the all-female crew or some of the challenges?
It was actually really, really amazing. There were a lot of moments on set, where I there were cast members that would come onto the set who didn't realize that it was an all-woman crew. And so there was one cast member who, you know, came on and she's like, oh my God. And she actually got a little emotional. She's like, I didn't realize it was an all-woman crew. This never happens. There was definitely an energy on set that I'm getting a little emotional talking about it now.
Yeah. Yes, it's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. That was just like so palpable and so infectious. And like when Nicole and I were, you know, choosing our trying team members, like we were very cognizant of, you know, making sure that we chose people who really wanted to be there, you know, and that really helped just with the overall, just, I mean, morale and camaraderie on set is that we're all pumped to like be here, tell this story. Like we all feel passionately about it. Because honestly, I can't imagine having done this any other way or telling the story any other way. So that was really, really important. So it was great, honestly. And as far as like challenges on set, I mean, it was pretty great. I would say there were external challenges. We, when I say the trying team, like we pulled up our bootstraps and made it happen. On our first day, we were shooting outside because we were shooting outside on a street. I don't know who wrote an outdoor on the street scene into the script, but we were shooting, it was me, but we were shooting outdoors and we were losing light and I'm shooting, or, you know, I was inside a car. So we had to get me with like right light and we had an amazing gaffer, Marcy Garcia, who was doing such a great job lighting me the best she could. But we were, you know, literally losing that light. It was noon. I was inside a car. You can only shoot for so long outdoors. And so in the middle of the day, we realized we had to stop shooting because we couldn't get the light that we needed. And then we also realized that the next location we were going to was actually going to be closing on us, or they were pushing us out about 4 hours earlier than we expected. So on the first day of shooting, we're like, oh my God, we've gotten like a scene and a half done. We have, I mean, you guys watched the opening for the film when Meg's kind of running around her apartment. That was what we needed to shoot for the rest of the first day. And it's like huge pivotal scene. Like there's a lot going on in that scene. And that was the location that we were actually going to have to be gone out of 4 hours earlier than expected. So
that wasn't your apartment. I was wondering if that was your apartment.
No, it was a friend of mine who was, she was so, I mean, I say this just from the filmmaker view that, you know, of course we were stressed, but she was so amazing and so generous to even allow us the space. And we were so grateful and she was so sweet on the day. Yeah, we were using a friend's space. So it came with, you know, things that could be unexpected that, you know, we don't think or know are going to happen, but they do. So we ended up shooting most of that opening scene and the ending scene. Thankfully, they were scenes that were just me, and thankfully I wrote the script and I am starring it. I know what I'm doing because there was a lot of moving parts. So we only needed to get a couple of takes to actually get everything that we needed. Thank God. And then we were able to shoot some pickups later of inserts that we needed, because those I feel like always kind of get the boot towards the end. So we were able to do that later during post-production, which worked out. But the trying team, all that to say, the trying team was incredible. Like I cried at the end of every shoot day because I was just so overwhelmed with just like love and gratitude for all these amazing people who were coming out to do this. And the fact that it was even happening, you know, the fact that I wrote this script, that people wanted to do it, liked it enough to like show up and actually like get it done was just amazing, because like everyone knew the assignment. Like we were like, we have to shoot this, so let's do what we got to do, and we did. And everyone was so positive and so sweet. And we were in the like literally like heat of the valley. We shot in the valley, of course, because I'm a big old dork, and I was like, I gotta shoot in my hometown. So we shot in the valley, so it was like 100 degrees, and we're shooting like inside my car, which was my car. You know, with me and crew members and all of that. So yeah, and even through all that, they were just, everyone was so amazing and so happy to be there, and I will just forever be grateful. So yeah. Woo!
What you're doing is so beautiful, and I could see how it'd be really emotional, because you are an example of where we want to see the film industry moving. Just way more conscious, way more loving, supportive, and positive the experience before you even get on set, and then once everyone is on set, because as you know, like so many things could come up, and you really need to have everyone like a positive atmosphere to bring the vision to life, you know, not let those challenges sideline everything. So yeah, it's an emotional thing what you're doing. I think it's wonderful. It's where we want to be moving as actors and writers. We want to work with directors like you know, so this is amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you, Christina. I really appreciate
Yeah.
that. And I mean, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but this project was actually birthed out of working on a set that was not this way, and that was not very
Ooh.
supportive.
Mhm.
I was on a set as an actor, and I was actually the only woman character on the show. It was actually I won't say what it was, but I was the only woman character, and there was the team of men, and then the rest of the cast was also men. It was just not the most positive environment. And, you know, there were things, I'm a big collaborator, so I, you know, wanted us all to be on the same page and make things the best we could. And there was a lot of moments where, yeah, I didn't feel supported, and I didn't feel happy to be doing the thing that I love. And I'm like, once you're, you know, in that space, it's like, what are we doing here? So that's kind of when the shift happened. And I always vowed that I would never write. I don't know why. I guess as actors, like, we have so many skills we already need to hone just to be an actor, that I was like, I'm not
You're gonna add a new one.
Yeah, exactly. That's too much. But then you know, Meg came to me. You know, it sounds a little like woo woo, but like Meg came to me, and her story came to me, and the circumstances just worked out, and I was like, we gotta do this. So that was always number one for me, because that's what I always want as an actor. So I wanted to make sure that everyone on my team felt that, and you know, we could all have just a supportive environment. So it's definitely important, and thank you for saying that, Christina. I really do appreciate that.
Super important. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, the hard stories about being on set where it's not so positive and it's not so wonderful, and unfortunately that's the majority of experiences. So it's good that we're shifting, that you're shifting things, we're sharing and talking about it. So that's very cool. Yeah, definitely. Tony and I know all about that. Characters coming to you from nowhere, they just drop down off the sky, right? These character storylines, and you got to write it. You got to get it out.
Oh,
so
I
yeah.
love it.
Well, what I hear you saying, Samantha, a lot of the emotion, you know, that you experienced, obviously you're putting in a ton of work. It's super personal. Our guard is down on those set days too, because you talked about not getting sleep, and I thought, like, what filmmaker ever gets sleep? There's all these things swirling, and your investment into the project, your hope and dreams and aspirations, it's like, oh my gosh, you're just a puddle at times. So I totally identify with that, and I love talking about the craft stuff. But I want to hear also about your personal connection. You said, you know, Meg's story came to you. It's about a woman with ADHD. You also touch on, it's not really a spoiler necessarily, but how labeling an identity from our past kind of comes into our adulthood as a child. And so I wondered if that was something you were processing yourself. Talk about that.
Yeah, I'm really happy you brought that up, and I'm really glad that you got that from the script, because there are a lot of, you know, the script was made with a lot of love, and like I said, you know, this is my first time writing a script. But yeah, it took 4 months, and the catalyst, of course, you know, I just talked about the industry, you know, side and how things kind of lined up there. But during the pandemic, I started going to therapy. Yay! Shout out therapy. Everyone go to therapy. Woo! If you can. Not always accessible. Woo! But
we are 100% for therapy. Yes.
Love it. Woo, my people. So I started going to therapy, and I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And I had always known that mental illness ran in my family, a myriad of mental illness. But for some reason, you know, I had never connected it to me. You know, I've always been very independent and strong, and I felt like, you know, for some reason that, like, oh no, I couldn't have a mental illness because I'm so strong, and I'm so this and so that. Couldn't be more wrong, guys. Like, we are all humans. We are going through so much every single day. Each of our brains are so different. Like, we are all truly, like, just such individual beings, and we're all just going through so much at any given moment. So just me even like having that thought is just like kind of ridiculous, honestly. And going to therapy really just opened that up for me, in a way that just like blew my mind, honestly. And I'm a big research fiend. So once I got my diagnoses, I was like, okay, what does this mean? Like, I want to know everything. I want to know what I can do to like set myself up for success, how I can better support other people in my life going through the same thing or similar things. And that's actually when I stumbled upon neurodivergence, and which is like ADHD or autism. And I realized that there is a whole group of women who experience anxiety and depression, and then were diagnosed with ADHD as well, who were not diagnosed until they were adults. And for so many different reasons. I mean, ADHD can show up with drastically different symptoms from literally individual to individual. I said in the beginning, diagnoses, women and girls are underdiagnosed opposed to, and non-binary people opposed to, boys and men. But truly, as I've dug even further, I'm now almost a year into, doing this work and this research, which has continued after I wrote the script, I have really understood how individual each person's symptoms are. So that being said, I was like, okay, there are all these women who are going through all of these experiences. I had no idea this was even a thing. there are so many stereotypes with ADHD about being like young, restless boys in school. And I was like, why is it even popping up in my brain? Like, why is that even a thing that society has like plugged into us? I'm like, where does that come from? When there are all these people, experiencing symptoms and trying to navigate life in a way that, isn't giving and isn't kind and isn't empathetic to their brains and to, the way that they navigate life. And that just made me like frustrated, honestly, because I saw that. And like I said, we are each going through so much any given moment, any given day, just trying to get through the day. So once I realized there was a whole community of specifically, women that were going through these things, and who, once they got their diagnoses, their worlds kind of opened up. They were able to give themselves more grace. They were able to, figure out what they need to do to serve themselves and their lives, because, there were a lot of women who felt like, they were sharing that they felt like failures because they weren't able to juggle, the societal standards of being a mom and a housewife. I'm like, ugh, gagging just saying it. While also like, having prosperous careers that, have to look a certain way. And I was like, what is up with this? Like, this ain't it, y'all. This ain't it. So when I I can go on. You can like stop me at any point. I feel like I can go on about this for days.
No, it's good. It's good. You're on to something, because I think you're right. We have this thing where we want to be strong. And why is having ADHD or depression or anxiety a weakness? You have to have compassion for how your brain is navigating the world and interpreting stress and reacting to stress in life. And I love that. We need to just have more compassion for how our brains are functioning and stop viewing it as a weakness, because I feel like that's part of why we have so much shame around it, and we don't want to share it because everyone wants to seem like strong and healthy and there's nothing wrong with me and I'm great. But yeah, we can do away with that. We're not perfect. We're not perfect. We're trying. We're trying.
Normalizing those stories. Exactly. Yeah. Trying is normalizing those stories. And that's what I think is really cool. And what we know, people want more of these. People want to see themselves in
real people,
our film and TV. So go watch Trying on demand on Vimeo. The link will be below if you're watching this live or on the replay, and we'll also make sure that it's in the show notes if you are listening on our podcast afterwards. This is so cool.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, heck yeah. We're we're up here in Northern California. You're in LA. By the way, our producer Alex just moved to LA, so you have to make sure you get a coffee or something with her when things are cool to do so, because she's a mover and a shaker and an actor and a producer too. So shout out to you, Alex, who's been doing our live quotes beneath as Samantha's been talking. But before we go into our Brave Faves, what is next for you in SamSkape Productions?
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to make a quick little note that I was getting all hot and bothered about the subject matter, but this film, it is a dramedy. It is funny. It's very relatable. It was very important to me. This is a relatable story. I think there's moments in it that anyone can connect to, whether you have ADHD, whether you're a woman, anxiety, any of it. So just want to drop that in there.
Drop that little creative nugget in there. Look at the
Yeah.
if you're watching or you go to the website, you can see the artwork is really fun, and the characters got this artistic bent. It's fun. I love. You can tell you have a quirky, fun sensibility. You'll recognize kind of the motif with all of your favorite kind of TV shows that kind of end up in this vein. It's something I think you'll definitely enjoy, and it's a subject that'll get you talking. And it's got some heart and some fun moments, and some. I think again, like go back. It's got some real underlying. Who are you, and who are you letting tell you who you are? That's what I took away with it. No matter what you're going through, no matter who you are, you get to tell you who you are, and I love that.
Yes, 1000%. Yeah, thank you for that, Tony. Appreciate that.
You got it. What's next for you?
What's next? Okay, so interestingly enough, like I always said that I was never going to write, but I'm actually in the process of writing a couple more things. So, and it's funny you say that trying reminded you of TV shows, because when I wrote it, I actually did have like a mini pilot feel in mind. Like that definitely feels like the structure of it, and it is set up, I think, with the ending that we want to see more, and we want to see where Meg goes from here. So in a perfect world, it would be a series, and
cool.
we could really dive into that. So yeah, if anyone wants to make Trying a series, hit me up.
it.
Oh, you are really about to start writing now.
Well, hey, we should also tell you, Bravemaker is a 501c3 nonprofit, so we help and we fiscally sponsor. So if you ever should want to do your next campaign, and I'm assuming your projects will align with us because we can tell your vibe and your energy with our mission to elevate brave stories for justice, diversity, and inclusion. We help filmmakers be able to fundraise so they can get tax deductible donations.
Love it.
And that's all. Yeah, that's all on our website, bravemaker.com. There's a fiscal sponsee link there. You can check that out, Samantha, because maybe your partner. Be sure with
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we are definitely in line now. I'm very, very glad that this worked out. Great.
Right on.
Yeah, and then otherwise, I mean, my partner is actually a screenwriter himself. So we are actually working on a different series together. Yeah, right. I was a little nervous at first. I'm like, gonna work with my romantic partner, like as a screenwriting partner. I'm like, are we gonna make it through? I don't know. We'll see. And it's been working out so far, which is great. So those are kind of the things that are in the works, and I got a couple of shorts that I've got some ideas for too that are in definitely like empowerment is a big theme for me. As well as like untold stories, like things that we maybe have touched on or think we know something, but I'm really big on educating viewers in a fun and exciting way. So that's definitely where all of these projects stem from. So yeah, stay tuned.
Very fun. We will definitely be staying tuned. We'll keep following you on the socials. And SamSkape Productions has a big slate coming up, so we'll be looking forward to all those things coming out and those stories to be told.
Yes, thank you. Yeah,
you got it. That. All right, we're going to go into our favorite way to end the show.
Brave Faves. TV shows, films, books, songs, technology, clothing, podcast, food, and more. These are a few of our favorite people, places, and things. Brave Faves.
All right, so I'm sitting here in my office, and if you could tell, I'm starting to glow. It's about 100 degrees in here because I like it hot. I like hot weather. I'm from the Central Valley, and I found the most amazing power bank. It's called Rav Power, and you can get it online. Okay, great. Tony's pulled up the website. Look at this. It's so cute. It comes in its own little travel bag, and when I tell you, like any electric throw blanket, any heated blanket, any little electric shoulder heating pad, You could plug it into this and just go, and you could be on set or in your car or wherever, and you're so toasty. And I just have to say, when I'm warm, I make better decisions. And when I start getting cold, I start throwing in the towel. Like, you know what? And you don't want to do that, right? You want to make something you're proud of. You want to stay nice, toasty, and comfortable. Go ahead, get yourself a portable power station. It's so cool. I take it everywhere I go. And you'll love it. That's my brave fave.
She does.
I love that.
By the way, our team went to a movie right before Christmas, and she was sitting next to me. It was like everything was all nice and keeping her warm. By the way, I like that idea for a T-shirt. I make better decisions when I'm warm. That's fun, Christine. That's totally all right. Well, my brave fave is, I told you I was kind of giving you a little teaser about our trailer, but Robert Hamilton from Trailer Den is now partnered with us. And he's not paying us to do this. I'm paying him.
What?
But Robert is awesome. He has a company called Trailer Den, trailerden.com. You can go see all of the trailers that he's done. He was so easy to work with, fun and quick and good. So I encourage you to go check it out. Go check out who he is and let him know that you heard about him from us. They also have obviously Instagram and Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Go follow them. Follow Trailer Den. Check it out. You need a trailer for your film. Even short films need trailers. They can be 10 seconds, 30 seconds long. And he's really, again, easy to work with and reasonable. So that's my brave fave for the week. Trailerden.com.
Super cool.
What you got, Samantha?
I love that. Those were so good, so practical. I'm
Good.
gonna go look at both of them right now. Okay, I have two. The first one is very in line with everything we've been talking about. I'm not sure if either of you have used it, but it's the book Artist's Way. Do either of you know it?
Yes, good book, good book.
What?
Of course. I feel like I plug it like wherever I go. I don't know, because it changed a lot for me. So for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a workbook for artists, but really for humans. It's just all about kind of like unlocking your creativity. But a big part of it is just kind of like breaking down the barriers of things that are holding you back. So again, it sounds a little woo-woo, but it's very practical. Like it's like a 3-month like workbook, and you do morning pages, which is journaling in the morning, which is something. There it is. Yeah, go get it.
So cool.
Which I had never journaled like ever in my life, and then I started journaling during this, and I'm really glad that I did.
I'll bet listeners or viewers have heard people say, "I was doing my morning pages."
Yes,
that phrase comes from Julia Cameron of the Artist.
Yes.
Okay,
that's
the
it.
boo-boo.
Yeah. Shout out Julia Cameron. Okay,
getting it today.
Yes, do it. Like
getting
really
it today,
and then people buy it, but then they don't do it. You gotta buy it and then do it. I actually borrowed a friend's first because for some reason, knowing that I would have to give it back meant that I would actually like have to do it. Like I would like need to like give myself like a time frame. And I started doing it, and then my partner was like, "You should just have your own. Like you're like using somebody else's book." I'm like, "You're right, because you want to write in it, you want to highlight." So like I recommend getting your own, but definitely like do it.
Get your own. And buy it on smile.amazon.com, and then choose Bravemaker as your favorite nonprofit. Smile.amazon.
Yes.
Perfect. Oh, we love the collabs. Okay, and then the second is actually a TV show. It's coming out with its 3rd season. It's The Servant. Have you guys watched The Servant on Apple TV+? Yeah.
No.
Okay, it's so good. Okay, it's like creepy, kind of like horror. It's M. Night Shyamalan. It's great.
Baby.
And for Harry Potter fans, I know the anniversary special just came out. Rupert Grint is in it. Oh yes, it's so creepy. It's so good, and the acting is just like phenomenal. Like every actor is so good. They like have a baby, but you don't know if it's a real baby or maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Maybe who knows? Gotta watch. But they hire a nanny to watch their baby. Baby. It's great. It's great. Those are mine.
M. Night on TV is pretty cool. I gotta admit, like super. I love M. Night. Everyone's kind of written him off and been super critical, but he's still there making movies. Making
Mhm.
stuff,
Yeah,
making
right.
stories.
Making stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right on. Well, we're super stoked on that. All right. Well, hey,
Yay.
everybody, thank you for watching. Hang on with us, Samantha. We're not done with you yet.
Okay.
But if you are watching us live or on the replay, we can't do this without you. We do this, Christine and I do this every single Wednesday, and we talk to great creators like Samantha to educate, encourage, and inspire you to brave your own way. And we are a 501c3 nonprofit. So all of the work that happens here at Brave Maker is because people are generous to us to help us make our films. And you see, Christina just got a new Shure mic.
Yeah, baby.
Donations that we get here. So go to bravemaker.com/donate. You can donate, or you can donate right from your phone. Just text the word Brave Maker to your text 44321. Text the word Brave Maker to 44321. You can give right from your phone. We have people who give us $5 a month, $10 a month. All that stuff helps us keep doing this work. And don't forget to sign up at bravemaker.com/buzz. What do we got coming up next week, Christina?
We got a great show for you next week, Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here. We're going to be joined by Emmy-winning producer Keith Jones from Rising Phoenix. So if you haven't checked out Rising Phoenix, it's available on Netflix, and Keith will be joining us. And also, we got to thank our crew. We got to thank producer Alex Todd, our podcast editor, Barnell Amos, our social media intern, Carrie Alley, and Carrie is our social media manager, and our intern is Emerson Morley. So thank all you guys behind the scenes helping bringing this show to life. It's awesome.
And go follow Samantha. Go
Yes.
follow her SamSkape Productions at samscapeproductions.com. You can find all about her film, Trying_movie. And we hope to hear more from you and see what you're doing, Samantha, in the future. All of these links will be in the show notes if you're listening on our audio replay. And Samantha, we wish you the best. This is really great. Good luck with everything.
Thank you so much to you both. Seriously, really appreciate it.
Got it.
See you on socials, guys. It's fun stuff there.
Yep.
We'll keep tabs on you. Stay around for a photo at the end with me and Christina, okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Brave Stories Change the World.
And you are the story. Bye, everybody.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at bravemaker.org. Like, subscribe, and share. To become a monthly donor, text the word BraveMaker to 44321 or go to bravemaker.com/donate. Thanks for tuning in.